Alright y'all, welcome back to part 2 in the build series. Here's our Infiniti. We're building a roll cage. In episode 1, you saw us make a main hoop, get the dash out, fight a dash bar, or crash bar rather. That was a pain in the butt. Y'all saw it. But anyways, in this episode, we're going to be doing forward down bars, A-pillar bars, rear down bars. More than likely, we're just going to get the down bars in, lower windshield bar, potentially upper. But come on, let's do it. I try to put the A-pillar bars, all the tubes and the bars in the car, I try to put them as close to the body as I can. And I try to make them follow the body line as best as I can. But sometimes on like newer cars like this G37, it's got a lot of compound curves. You know, you've got this roof line is curving. You know, if you're looking at it from this plane, you know, looking at the car this way, you see the car go down. But then it's also curving out right here. But then at right here where the A-pillar comes down, it turns in towards me and curves down. And then it straightens out again and then goes down to the floor. So there's a whole bunch of measurements that you got to take. I just aesthetically, I like it to be out of the door frame as much as possible. And if I can, I like it to follow the door frame. So it takes more time, but it just shows another level of craftsmanship. If you can execute an A-pillar bar properly, and in my opinion, properly is following the body line and tucking it out of the way, you know, you're gonna have a happier customer. You know, as far as strength's concerned, it's gonna be the same, but it just looks a lot better. We're gonna go from that point to here. This is gonna be a really complex A-pillar bar. Now that we've found some rough bend points on the A-pillar, it's time to find our measurements. Here, you'll see me marking a few spots on the pillar and on some location pins or holes with my Sharpie. These points are going to be symmetrical on the chassis and will be my bend center pick point locations for BendTech. Now that I have my bend center locations, I need to find where they are in space relational to one another. I need to know how far apart they are and if there is an altitude difference between them. A better way than just dropping a tape measure and eyeballing it like I am here would be to tape a plumb bob to the bend center point and take a more accurate measurement to the next bend center point. Now that we have all of that information, we input it into BendTech, cut, prep, and mark our tube, got our bend location, degree, and offsets from one another marked, clamped, and bent, and the initial test fit done. 36 degrees is what I need to rotate that back to get my 3, because I set that at 39, which was 36 plus 3 from here. Because you rotate 3 degrees from here to get this bend, 36 degrees from here, so that would put this bend 39 degrees off of that dude. We need to get this at 0, or set that at 36 degrees, or 39 degrees, and set that one at 30, 39, 3 degrees. Yeah, 3. It is 3. Okay. Whew. Man, that took a lot of computing power. Freaking, I'm happy with that. You know, it'll go back about another 1.5 inches. It'll move backwards about 1.5 inches because of, you know, the notch. But right now it's just resting there. But dude, it's about 1 inch forward of the bend center line point, which makes sense because I'm gonna take about 1 inch, 1.5 inches off. That'll put this thing exactly where I measured it at. Now on to the passenger side. Rinse and repeat, but don't forget you have to mirror your offset bends, otherwise you'll end up with 2 driver's side A-pillar bars. What's inside that box, might you ask? Now, I'm gonna be real with you. It's only the best consumables on the market. Benchmark abrasives. Ordered up some sanding belts for my Ameribraid. Buddy, look at that. They sent me some safety goggles. I didn't ask for that. This is legit. They sent me some freaking earmuffs. Dude, that's cool. I didn't order that either. Got a whole bunch of, I ordered up a whole bunch of belts. That way we ain't gonna be without. Well, man, that's a nice surprise. Benchmark abrasives. I appreciate you hooking your boy up with those earmuffs.
Can you hear me?
Huh? Got this A-pillar bar bent up. I just got a little fishing magnet holding the bar. There's a company called Centurial Tool. I've got some of their tools, but they've got really good tube holding magnets. Like specifically, they've got these little feet on them that clamp onto the magnet. That they do that, and then it's got like a screw, and then you could clamp it onto that one, or you know, this way. Whenever you notch a tube on a bend, you're not notching it directly into 1.5 inch diameter because you've got a slight bit of deformation. Deformation is the bending of a tube, you know, like the oblonging of it. It is deformed, deformation. So this tube is a very, very slight oval in the middle of the bend. So we've got like, I don't know, probably 3/32 of a gap right here on both sides, and I want to fix that. I want to take that out. So I'm going to notch this just a touch deeper so that this will recess tighter onto this wall. The best fitment that you can have, you know, the easier something is to weld, the stronger the joint's going to be, the better it's going to look. That's the way to do it. You could, if you were MIG welding this, you could leave that no problem, send it, you know, because you would have probably quarter inch width of a bead, but we're TIGging this, so we need some really good fit up. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run this unit over to the Ameribraid, get a little bit better fit up on it. Let's work on fitment in this one. What are we hitting on here? I think I need to cut the, I'm gonna need to cut these little studs right here. And I need to do it on both sides. Yep, I need to do it on both sides because it's contacting the hoop there. That's gonna be nice. Now that we have the A-pillar bars fitment dialed in the way I like, I grab some 1-2-3 blocks and some zip ties to space and hold the tubes in a symmetrical fashion so we can get the driver's seat in, check fitment of the seat to each bar, make sure there's enough space to wear a helmet, and also make sure the A-pillar bars don't impede the driver's view through the windshield. So after I fit the entire cage together, I'm going to cut all these tacks. Everything's just held in by 2 tacks right now. cut it all off after the entire thing's fit. And then I'm gonna do a little bit more prep work, drop the cage down about 4 inches, put everything back in place, retack it, then drop everything about 3 to 4 inches, seam weld the top, shove it back up, seam weld the bottom, and it'll be freaking good to go. Like, file one side, flip it, file the other side. File one side, flip it, file the other side. If you didn't hear me the first time, file one side, flip it, file the other side.
I can't say enough good things about the Ameribraid belt sander. This thing really shines on cage work. I much prefer to notch tubes with this tool over hole saw notchers. You can really creep up on the perfect notch. Fit up really is everything.
This part right here is the part that sucks. Just the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Until you get it. The most important thing aside from safety is proper fit up. I can tell you firsthand, it's worth taking the extra time to really make the tubes fit together tight.
Thank you for sticking around. Do us a favor. Like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. Hit that bell button to receive notifications when we post more videos. We'll catch you on episode 3. Stay tuned.